Welcome, dear viewers. I'm Xnick, and today we're going to be looking at a kind of very ambitious deck that tries to use the Harmless offering card that we don't have in Magic Duels. That's a pity because that is a very fun card that can let you give your opponent some of your permanents, and well, we don't have that card in Duels, so we are going to try to emulate the effect by using Shrewd Negotiation. Exchange control of target artifact you control and target artifact or creature you don't control. So in at some aspect is more powerful than Harmless offering because you steal one of the opponent's artifacts or creatures, but also it has a very strong restriction because you can only target your own artifacts. So to bypass that, we are going to try to use Sahili's Artistry, and then the deck runs lots of control tools and cards that we want to give to our opponent. We cannot give them the actual cards, but we have to clone them first and then give them to the opponent. So let's see if this somehow works. And here we are. I've been trying the deck against the AI to see if it actually works, and originally intended as just blue and black combination, it turned out that it was already too powerful without doing the Harmless offering trick, so I wanted to focus more, but then I did not succeed into having just blue and black focused on that aspect because the rate at which we could draw the cards was not enough. So here we are with having added the green that provides us interesting tools to handle some situations. We also have Gonti's Machinations. It's going to start stacking up energy counters when we take damage, and then we can use that energy to draw cards with some effects, and also nice to have with our Ether Hubs. So I think we go with the Colony here. It's a 1/1 2-mana black creature that during our upkeep it gains an additional +1/+1 counter, and we lose 1 life but cannot block. So this should get growing steadily during the course of the game, and the longer it stays in play, the harder it is to kill for the opponent, that is, unless of course he has some creature destruction. Let's swing first, let's see what happens. And of course our opponent does not know what we have in hand, but still we can only play the Gonti's Machination, but that's information we do not want to share with the opponent. Now we play this, and here, if the Fretwork Colony stays in play, we take 1 more point of damage and therefore 1 energy counter. Otherwise the Fretwork Colony grows. Oh no, it's a meal deck. Well, at least we could try to survive here with the Creeping Mold if we find enough lands. This is nice, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Gonti's Machination can be sacrificed to gain 3 life, and the opponent takes 3. So that's a cool thing because we are going to be losing life by our own. Let's see what goes down the drain here, and hopefully we find our land so we can cast the Creeping Mold. Brutal Expulsion. It's going to bring this one back to our hand, I imagine. Opponent gets to choose 2. Okay, so now our board is looking pretty sad, and we have another Gonti's Machination. Opponent probably has a damage spell in hand, but not having lands is bad. We have our next 2 lands in the graveyard were dropped by the Sphinx Tutelage, and this is going to be sad. I think if we don't find a land, we just might concede because there's no coming back from this. Evolving Wilds. And Jace, out of Jace, lets the opponent scry a little bit if he gets a Planeswalker. So hopefully we can also play the Thoknox here. Oh, well, look at... Oh, this is a reanimation deck with Mill. Oh, my lands, please. Don't go... Ouch. Why my lands are going there? Damn it. We already have lost 12 cards out of these, many of which were lands that we need. But our opponent is sitting at 15 left. Okay, this is game over, I guess. Let's concede this and move on. No point here without lands. We are not going to win that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. And here we are. Well, against a mill deck, our deck can stand a chance, but we have to be drawing our lands. Otherwise, we cannot play our tools. That's a pity. The last opponent found the Sphinx's tutelage so fast, and we couldn't find our lands. This is looking much better now with Never. Let's go with Sunken Hollow here. Then hopefully we find some lands to activate the Tireless Tracker's clues. And of course Kalitas is going to be great for us, because if the opponent goes for the Embalm, then Kalitas is very good, since the creatures never hit the graveyard. Well, let's go Woodland Cemetery, just in case our opponent has a Thalia in the future. We want to drop our non-basic lands first. I imagine the opponent is going to be running some sort of auras to play along with the cat. We can scare the opponent by pausing when he plays. Aha, I think it's about auras, because here SRAM is a strong indicator of that kind of deck. So at some point in the... before adding green, I was running some counter spells in the deck, but then the deck ends up so strong that it makes no sense to run Shrewd Negotiation. So I had to tone down the effectiveness of the deck. So here, Barrel or Kindly Stranger. I can also use Never before our opponent. Okay, if I let the opponent play the auras, the Never is going to be much more effective, but also that means our opponent is drawing cards. Let's go Tireless Tracker. Here, I know that is strange, but I don't want the opponent to know that we can kill his creatures, and if he has a removal spell, he is going to have to use it, and later on we can possibly recover our Tireless Tracker. Other than that, we can... Okay, Compulsory Rest. Alright, our creature can no longer attack, but we also can sacrifice our creature to gain life, and our deck is going to love that. And also the Never, it's a good... Okay, let's go with Dunes here. So is our opponent going to play with more of these auras? Maybe he has... Well, he only has 2 mana. That means I think it's better to play Kalitas now before our opponent finds more lands. I think he runs cast out that can exile our Kalithas, but it's going to take him a couple more lands to do that. Sacred Cat, okay. Cartouche of Solidarity, as expected. Probably the opponent is looking for lands here. He shouldn't have played the cat, I guess, but now we know that he does not, probably has not a 2 or 3 mana drop. Alright. First strike does nothing. Okie dokie. And we have Pulse of Muresa. So I think we go with Baral here. It's going to provide us a neat discount that we don't take much advantage, but we also want to have a creature in play. And this is sorcery on both parts, so it's going to count as a 1 card type for the Kindly Stranger. But now we get a 2/2 zombie token thanks to Kalithas, and we did a 2 for 1, well, maybe more. We are not attacking here yet. Let's see what the opponent tries to do. So let's see. Opponent has 5 cards. Now he has 4 mana, so I think cast out can show up at any point, any given moment. We could kill one of the opponent's cats with the Dunes. Okay, Thras, okay. Okay, Thras. We have Altered Ego against this. That is a very good card. Oh, this is extraordinary. Let's do this. Now we have land and sorcery in the graveyard. Give me, I guess we could be using another green land over here. And we had to spend 1 mana to activate this. So let's go ahead and remove one of the cats. Send in the Kalithas here. That now the opponent cannot use Okitra to block because he only has 3 creatures. Okitra needs at least 3 other creatures, so it's not possible for Okitra to block. Now we hit and gain some life. And I think we just passed the turn. We can draw with the clues. We can use Pulse of Muresa to bring back the Evolving Wilds or the Desert Dusk. Okay. But we are left with our guys, and I think it's actually good for us. Continue. So what's going to happen here? Stop it and bring back, well, Kalithas certainly is strong, but I think we go with the tracker. We have more pulses later on. Obnixilis, I like it. We can draw with Obnixilis or with the Tireless Tracker. Let's attack with everybody here and see what the opponent does about that. We already have 4 card types that we can use here. The opponent has Dawn, but so far only for a single cat. It's not going to be too meaningful for the opponent. So I think we go with Obnixilis here. Draw something. After all, we don't want to just kill the opponent. Land. I'm going to keep the land for Tireless Tracker. Also, if we need to, we can play Kindly Stranger and flip her right away with the we have enough mana now with the hub. And Angelic Destiny or Cast Out is going to show up. Another cartouche. So opponent probably has a trial or some sort in the hand. Here comes the Pain with the cat, and he now swings with Okitra at Obnixlis. Well, the cartouche over the cat, I don't know if that's too wise, but that's the way the opponent plays. Alrighty then. So now Okitra is online, but we have the Tiny Calls. It's awesome for us. Let's put Tiny Coils on over Okitra, and the Kindly Stranger goes down. I think I know I should have kept the land in hand, but anyways, I don't care that much. So opponent also runs Foundry of the Consoles, probably has some... this guy is going to make us lose some life. He's going to... Oh, he destroys the Titan Coils. That's mean. Our opponent is so meany. So here we take 6. And receive another one with the Throne of the God Pharaoh. And another Pulse. What do we want to bring back? Probably Kalithas here. But first we are going to draw. No, not yet. Drop Tireless Tracker. And kill this guy. Yes. We can send pretty much anybody here. But if I don't keep blockers, then the opponent swings back at us and the opponent runs the throne. Therefore we have to manage this situation here. Okay, opponent at 15. So we want to apply some pressure there. But we have, of course, the Pulse, and I think we can recover Kalithas. Okay. Okay, or this also works. We have Barrel's expertise. That will be great to show up soon. No damage here. Opponent wants to keep the blockers. Okay, then let's draw. Land is good. Let's draw again. Well, we now have to spend some energy to play Glint or drop the Catacomb. Oh, another. Yeah, that's great. And off you go. We're not going to attack against Nokitra. So we just wait for the opponent to make the move, and we are going to be drawing an additional card with Glint Sleep plus the clues, and we already are at 40. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. He can spam some tokens by activating Okitra. It spends 4 mana, so it is good for us. So if the opponent has any creature, he could tap all the creatures to for the throne, and here comes the anointed procession. And now the Okitra spawns 2 tokens at a time. Pay. Okay. Mind Melter, I really like it here. Okay, off you go. Mind Melter, we are going to force the opponent to exile a card from his hand or her hand, and it also reveals what he's holding back to and what he doesn't want to lose. It was the Etherstone Rock, so the other card is more powerful than that, so we have to be very careful here. So we could send the Glintsleeve Siphoner. Since she has menace, it takes care of one of these. Opponent probably blocks with Oketra too. So let's swing with her because we have another one in our hand. And we also receive another energy. That's cool. No, you need to block with... Alright, that's good. We take care of the... but Okitra has... she has first strike. Silly me. I forget about the double strike, so our guy dies before killing the other. That was a bit stupid. Sorry guys, my misplay. Opponent should have kept the land in hand because we have the Mind Melter with us, and maybe he's now realizing that mistake. He can gain 4 1/1 tokens if he, yeah, that's what's going to happen here. So if he attacks with everybody, there is 8 damage on top of the attack with the throne. So here we could pulse twice with the Insidious Will. Is that a good plan? Let's see what is holding, what our opponent is holding back in the hand. It's just a true hard duelist. Okay. Then what? I think we drop her. Oh, the ground tapping has happened. Damn it. Okay, we still have the Insidious Will. Skip the attack. Oh, I imagine the opponent runs some trial here. Let's see if we cannot counter anything as it stands. Okay, just a land. So I don't know about you, opponent, but you should keep cards in hand with this guy over there. Only Okitra swings all the flyers. Maybe we should block this Okitra with, say, one of our zombie tokens. Confirm the block. We take 4 in the air plus 5 from the throne. Let's use this already. I have to pay 1 additional energy because I tap it poorly. That's the problem with this game. I don't know how to tap. Okay, here comes the land. I think we draw first. Let's see, what are you tapping, guy? Why the black? Why the black mana? No, please. Okay. Damn it, the tapping is so bad here. No, we do not get double blue. Okay, Caravan is going to be a great help for us. We can send the tireless tracker, I guess. Opponent activates Okitra, 2 more tokens, but one of them should take the hit. There we go. Now this is going to be tough. 5 over here, 6 more, and then if the opponent swings with everybody, the throne of the god Pharaoh is going to be dealing some damage to us too. So just this guy. Alrighty then. I say we block with this and let it go. And are you going to activate this? Oh, it's the Etherstorm Rock. So we could duplicate that at some point in this game. 4. So we have to make sure that we gain some life now, or else we are dead. Let's draw first. Oh, the tapping is so beautiful here, my dog. There you go. This is beautiful. And what are we going to copy? Can we do it twice? I think if I attack with her, maybe we get to do it twice. Do I send the tireless tracker and Kalitas? Kalitas can die. Let's see what the opponent does about this. So we're going to be taking down the Pilgrim and this and gain 3. So the opponent has 4 flyers plus 3 to match. What do we have here? Nothing useful yet. So we need a flyer here. I think we are going to copy one of the Thopters. It's a bit risky. Because if the opponent can't remove...
It was at this moment that Exnick knew. He fucked up.
Ah, the Insidious Wheel. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, we have the Insidious Wheel as a counter spell for whatever the opponent tries to do. Now, hopefully... Oh, it's just the land. So what is it going to be? Opponent, he can swing with 4. Yeah, I think we still die here. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh no. We cannot... it taps one of our guys. Okay. Still we die here. Oh, to the throne. That's a pity. Let's see what was our next card. Maybe if it's a Pules, we can survive here. But we have to top deck a Pulse of Mirasa right away. No, it was not it. And here we are. Okay, I think that what time need is to wake up because I think I screwed up the last game for a bunch of tiny misplays that got accumulated, and finally I did not play my Insidious wheel when I had to. So messy. Not Seer follow up way of Nixilis with enough lands. It's a slow hand, but I think we can keep it. Go start with the Sunken Hollow, maybe. Let's see what we draw into. Watchers of the Dead. I think we are going to be using this as a blocker, and the ability might come up later at some stage of the game. Alright, if I play these two, then we have all our colors, well, despite the colorless. Colorless should count as our sixth color in the Magic the Gathering, but no, it's just colorless. And here comes the Festering Mummy. 1/1 puts a -1 counter on target creature when it dies. So if we block with our 2/2, this guy dies. Okay, then go Goodland Cemetery Watchers. Let's see how the opponent manages this. Hopefully we find a 3-mana play to do next. Green and black. So I think that our opponent is going to go all about negative counters in this type of colors. Maybe not. Maybe it's zombies. But green and black are very strong in negative counters. So we already have our double black for Omnixilis. So we've been drawing lands for the time being, but soon we are going to be able to drop this guy that is very useful. He attacks. We do not block. For starters, we lose our 2/2 right away, and also opponent runs black and green. He can have any number of pump spells. Here, let's see if he has a 3-mana play. No, alright. Pulse. So that's interesting for later. Take 2 more to the face. We are going to play the Ether Hub. So now we are representing many 3-mana spells with these colors, and the opponent probably is puzzled of why we are running the Watchers of the Dead. It's a strange card to have in any deck. If you see this pop up, be very scared. There he can drop the negative counters over this, and then this dies and places the negative counters on the Watchers. And this guy has Menace. It's a very strong 5/4, and it goes well with the both zombies team and the negative counters team. So it's a very strong creature. The Plague Belcher for just 3 mana does too many things. And now we have something interesting to do, because Creeping Molds. So I think we want to take a peek at the opponent's hand and see what is this about. Destined. So look at all this. Oh boy. Supernatural Stamina. I think this is the worst of the cards that the opponent has for us. So let's continue here and see. We know that the opponent has the cartouche of ambition probably is going to place a negative counter on the Thoknox here. Or this guy too, he can remove the watchers if he wants to. This is now a 6-5 with menace, but then our seer has dodged the negative counters. That's great. We can't block that guy. And then the opponent has supernatural stamina. I think we still go for the Obnixilis here, because if the opponent uses natural stamina on this, then when he spawns, he respawns and has to use the negative guys. Okay. Can we use the Insidious Wheel here? We can. Let's swing first. We could also creepy mold something. Yeah. Let's go. Let's force the opponent to drop the supernatural stamina on this. There we go. When he enters the battlefield, he's going to have to place the negative counters over itself. So it's going to be shrunk to a 3-2. And now opponent could attack Obnixilis, I imagine, or our face. This guy, why don't you attack first? I'm guessing you are just placing your counters on Soul Stinger. Alrighty then. Okay, I'm going to drop this. Yes. And Creepy Bolt, our opponent has no real threats, so we don't want to play this on just a land. We hold the Thoknots here on defense. Let's see what the opponent draws. Hopefully it's something that we want to divert with the Insidious Wheel. So here comes the swing for 3. No, just this. This is very suspicious. But then again, if this dies, it places the counters on this. We can. This dies, opponent draws a card. We bring it back with the Duels. Hopefully this works. Come on, place something interesting. No, okay. Up you go. So we are back at 15 life. And I guess we drop you. Let's take a peek at your card. Just land, okay. So Grasping Dunes plus the colony is just a swamp, nothing to be too scared about. So now he has another card that we have to worry about. Let's hope it's not horrible. And now this one cannot block, and the opponent is relying on menace. So if he does not see the he saw Too bad for us. Skip the blocking and hope that we can raise the opponent here. We can drop a negative counter on the enemy if we need to. For instance, over this guy. Okay. Let's see what we get here. I like this. So we're going to remove this so we can start pumping up the damage. Opponent takes 6. And if we play this and do not tap our blue, god damn it, the game just wants me to spend my energy. Okay, show me what you got. I'm gonna take that. Hopefully it's not a creature that we have to counter, but a spell that we want to put over our own guys. We win some energy out of the deal. Then another one from the fretwork colony. That represents 3 more damage for the opponent, plus 7 from these two. So we have our opponent against the ropes now, with the Insidious Will for protection. So what do you have? Nothing. Alrighty then. And another pulse is great. So let's swing first. Let's see what happens. So opponent already at 7, 4 if we take into account this machination, and we have this is going to turn into a 4/4 next turn. Let's see if the opponent has something. Three. So far nothing scary, and shed weakness. Okay.
I don't think so.
Choose new targets. We're going to put this on one of our guys. This guy. There we go. Now opponent needs 2 creatures to win this game, because we have 2 attackers that can take the game for us. Had this resolved, opponent would have effectively given this +3/+3, and then the Fretwork Colony finishes the game. So let's continue. Let's see. No place. He has 6 mana up there. That's nothing. Okay, let's swing for the victory. We don't even need to activate machinations. So finally we finished today's video. I want to thank you all for viewing, and I hope you have enjoyed our time together. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you think it's worth, and leave your comments below if you have any suggestions or ideas for me to try. We'll have another amazing video next time. Until then, sayonara!